Good morning friends. Welcome back to Parnika tutorials. In the last video, I have discussed what is a loop, how many different types of loops are there in C language such as for loop, while loop, do while loop. Then I have discussed about the syntax of for loop, and then I have discussed the flowchart for the for loop, and then I have discussed a C program related to the for loop. I hope you have watched that video. If you did not watch that video or if you don't know those concepts, I request you to go back and watch that video and come back to this video. In this video, I will discuss about while loop in detail, the syntax of while loop, the flowchart of the while loop, and then I will discuss one program related to the while loop so that you will understand the concept in a better way. Let me define what is a loop. In programming, a loop is a set of statements will be repeated. It consists of a block of statements. Those block of statements will be repeated until a specific condition is met. Okay, so let me discuss what are the sections will be there in a loop. You will have the initialization section, you will have the test expression, and then you will have the updation section. These three sections will be there in any loop. Now let me discuss the syntax of the while loop. Okay, in the while loop also you will have the initialization section, you will have the initialization section, and then you will have the while, which is a keyword, and then you will have the test expression, and then you will have the statements which you want to repeat, the statement 1, statement 2, 3, statement 3, so on, n number of statements. What are the statements you want to write? At the last you will have the update section, and then you will close the while loop. So any loop should have these three sections. One is the initialization section, text expression, and then you will have the updation section. Now, how many times the initialization section will be executed? Only once. Okay. Now, once the initialization section is completed, you will come to the test expression. If the test expression is true, because the condition can be true or false. If the test expression is giving the value as true, then the statements which are there in the while loop will be executed. Once you are executed all the statements, you will update the value whatever you have initialized, and then again you will check for the updated value whether the condition is satisfied or not. If it is satisfied, again you will execute. If it is not satisfied, you will come out from the while loop. Now I will ask one doubt. I have initialized the I value is equal to 0, and here I have written a condition called I not equal to 0. Then tell me how many times the for loop, this while loop will be executed. It will not execute at least once. Am I right or wrong? Because you have written a statement called I is equal to 0, and in the condition you have written that I not equal to 0. Now whether this condition will be satisfied? No, 0 is equal to 0. Am I right or wrong? But here they have written that 0 not equal to 0. So this expression or the test condition is not satisfied, so the statements which are there in the while loop will not be executed at least once also. Am I right or wrong? So this is about the syntax of the while loop. Now let me discuss about the flow chart for the while loop. Okay, in the flow chart you will have the initialization section as usually, and then you will have the text expression. You will have the test expression. The test expression can be true or can be false. If it is false, what we should do? If it is true, what we should do, we will discuss now. If it is true, what we should do. If it is false, what we should do, we will discuss now. If it is true, the statements in the while body will be executed. Execute the statements in the body of while, or in the while body. Whatever you want to write, you can write. Means all the statements I want to execute. Now all the statements even consist of updation section. Am I right or wrong? You have a update section which is the one of the statement in this while body. Am I right? So I am not writing the update section separately here. Okay, if once you are updated the value, you will again check whether the test expression is true or false. Okay, if it is true, again you will execute the statements in the while body. If it is false, you will end the while loop, or you will execute the statement which is there after the while loop. If any statement is there, that statement will be executed. So I hope you have understood the syntax and you have understood the flowchart. If you know the syntax, easily you can draw the flowchart. If you know the symbols and the representation for initialization session, test expression, all these things. Now let me discuss a C program related to the while loop so that you will understand the concept in a better way. Okay, now what is the objective of my program is I want to find the sum of first n natural numbers. Okay, now this is the objective I want to do using the while loop. Now what I will do, first I need to do hash include stdio.h, and then I will write a statement called void main, and then I will take the variables as I comma n, and even I will take the sum also, because sum I need to display, and I will initialize the sum is equal to 0. Okay, now printf, I will ask the user to enter the n value because he need to compute the sum of first n natural numbers. So you should know what is the n value. So you will ask the user enter the value of n. Okay, so once the user has entered, you need to store it in the variable n. So you have to write %d sin. Now why I am writing the format specifier %d? Because it is an integer variable. And what is the representation of and percentage means and n means ampersand n? What is the representation is that it denotes that whatever the value you have read, that value you want to store it in the address location of the variable n. Okay, now what you need to do, you need to initialize the I value. I value is equal to 1 because you want to compute the sum of first n natural numbers. So from 1 to n you need to do. So that's why I have done the initialization section. I is equal to 1. Now tell me what is my test expression. My text expression is while I less than or equal to n. If it is I is greater than n, I need to come out from this while loop. So here I will do, what are the things I need to do? I need to compute the sum, and also I need to update the I value. So one thing I will write it as sum is equal to sum plus I. Okay, and then I will increment the I value. So I will write it as I is equal to I plus 1. So this is my while loop. Once this is completed, okay, I need to display the I value, sum value. So I will write printf %d sum. Okay, once I printed the sum, I need to write the get ch, and I need to close the main function. Now let's see how this program is working. Okay, to make you understand, let me take the variables. Initially I value is 1, sum is equal to 0. Okay, n value, let's take that user has entered 3. He want to compute the sum of first 3 natural numbers, which is nothing but 1 plus 2 plus 3 he want to compute, which is equal to what? 6. Let's see whether my program is also giving the output as 6 or not. Okay, now user has entered the n value is equal to 3. Now look at the condition, while I less than or equal to n. What is the I value? Write the statement here, I less than or equal to n. What is the I value? I value is 1, n value is 3. So 1 is less than or equal to 3? Yeah, 1 is less than 3. So the condition is satisfied. If the condition is satisfied, what are the statements which are there in the while loop? You need to execute them. What is the first statement is there? Sum is equal to sum plus I. So you have a statement called sum is equal to sum plus I. First you need to execute this one, and whatever the result you are getting, you need to store it in the variable sum. Now what is the sum value previously? Sum value is 0. I value is what? 1. So 0 plus 1 is what? 1. So that 1 will be stored in the variable sum. So previously sum is consists of value 0. Now it is consists of 1. Okay. Now what is the next statement you have? I is equal to I plus 1. I is equal to I plus 1 is nothing but I is equal to 1 plus 1 because you have the I value is 1. So 1 plus 1 which is equal to 2. Okay. Once you execute the statements which are there in the while loop, then again you will go and check the condition. Okay. Now what is the condition? I less than or equal to n. Now what is the I value? 2. N value is what? 3. So 2 is less than or equal to 3 or not, that is the condition. Tell me 2 is less than 3. So the condition is satisfied. If the condition is satisfied, again you will execute the statements. Sum is equal to sum plus I. What is the current sum value? Current sum value is 1. What is this current I value? 2. So which is nothing but 3. So sum will update the value as 3. Are you able to understand? Now I is equal to I plus 1. So which is 2 plus 1, the I value will be updated to 3. Again, after executing the statements, again you will go to the text expression. You will check whether the condition is satisfied or not. What is the condition? I less than or equal to n. What is the current I value? 3. What is the current n value? 3. This is what they are checking. 3 less than or equal to 3. 3 is equal to 3. So again the condition is satisfied. If the condition is satisfied, you need to execute the statement. Sum is equal to sum plus I. What is the current sum value? 3. What is the current I value? 3. So 3 plus 3, 6. That value will be updated here. Now I is equal to I plus 1. I is equal to I plus 1 means I value is currently 3. 3 plus 1, it will become 4. After these two statements are executed, again it will go to the test expression. What is the test expression? I less than or equal to 3. What is the current I value? 4. What is the current n value? 3. This is what you are checking. But tell me what is true? 4 is greater than 3. 4 is not less than or equal to 3. So the condition is failed. If the condition is failed, you have to come out from the while loop and you need to execute the statements what are there after the while loop. So what is the statement which is there after the while loop? Printf percentage d sum. What is the sum value is there? 6. So it will display me the value as 6. Okay. So first n natural numbers 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. Even you are getting the output as 6 from this program. So your program is correct. So lot of students will have a doubt. Sir, once you have written some program, whether it is correct or wrong, how can you check it? Is that you take some input and check whether you are getting the correct output or not. If you are getting the correct output for all the cases, then your program is right. Otherwise, your program is wrong. So if you have any doubts related to the while loop, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts as early as possible. Thank you for watching the complete video. Have a nice day.